Creating stupid sympathetic villains is a staple of anime, and with a massive amount of slightly overrated animes, none perfect the art of a generic and manipulatively crafted villain more than Mob Psycho, an anime that falls short to One Punch Man Season 1 in nearly every regard except for its animation and art. Mob Psycho actually has a lot of very visually impressive animation, but the paper-thin characters, handbook villains, and messages and meaning found from the story and fights are fucking atrocious. It is a generic anime show. The fights never show a character's strength. Cue random massive explosion. Basically, every time a character is in danger of losing, he doesn't save himself or outperform. He fails miserably, then some random bullshit conveniently saves him. Exhibit C. Mob is trapped by a sad villain in a realm where he lives without his powers. Instead of all the restraint and resilience Mob has shown to not using his powers to benefit himself, he corrupts after not being able to use his powers for 6 months. It would have been very rewarding and cool for him to just go, "Oh, I actually never use my powers." And he just brushes off 6 months of bullying. Our character is naturally terrible and random coincidence is saved by his friend.
Oi.
That's so fucking stupid, Rajin. I could punch you in the fucking face. Why is he sleeping for 2 days? He had plenty of rest after doing nothing and was receiving good news. Why does good news make you pass out? A pass out that makes you sleep through an entire battle where you survive by complete luck. Excellent. The powers and magic behind the world are confusing. There are spirits, you can't get powers from training, and the powers are very random and nonsensical. They are said to be caused from emotions, which wouldn't make sense since everyone has emotions, and the main character's personality is nothing. And when his pent-up emotions are released, he just turns into a massive cunt. Likeable characters, everyone. Ones that are so sympathetic and understandable. The terrible sympathetic villains that are a part of anime are found to be likable from a stupid audience. Other than the fact that the entire season 2 of One Punch Man could have been told in 3 episodes, it also spends a significant amount of time on a garbage character, Goro, a man who finds enjoyment in killing and causing chaos, massacring a stadium of people and trying to kill the heroes of the world. The way they shoehorn in this fuckhead's backstory is very manipulative. It is pathetic the way he thinks he is the victim and people should root for him in this situation. When his evil acts reflect so terribly upon his character and his it makes no sense to want to save a random kid. So, after all the senseless killing, you have chosen to manipulate people to think you are a good guy by saving a kid. He has many villainous traits. He is evil to the core. He's nothing like Vegeta, you stupid Vegeta's whole race was killed by Frieza, and Vegeta's attempt to rid himself from Frieza's evil grasp, and the good in him,
from my father, when I was just a little boy,
is what makes the end to Frieza's saga so powerful.
Heart of stone can't shed tears like you did. I think I understand you now. Thank you for saving my son's life and for buying enough time for me to recuperate.
This scene is so cliche, out of the world, never would happen, ever bullying. And apparently this warrants killing people. Goro is a Suki bum who had a childish fantasy of feeling sorry for villains that are outnumbered, completely ignoring the villain's actions and what makes them evil. The character that gets the psych out motivational build-up, a man who has lost countless times, but is inspired by a beam of hope that is the selfless hero Saitama, is a sympathetic character. But no, his spotlight is taken. You had a great master and life, leaving it all to pursue more power. Someone sharing a similar story that is communicated in 2 minutes of backstory, Tai Lung, is someone who has a more sympathetic and 100-fold more legendary backstory and villainous appeal than Goro. There is an art to creating an excellent villain. Some can be misunderstood, some can grow from a tragic past, or some can be a great means to an end, being able to appreciate their appealing design and evil character. The villain Goro and all the enemies in Mob Psycho represent none of the qualities that make a unique villain. They're all generic villains, but suddenly have a change of heart after Mob turns into a cunt and tries to kill them. He's not loving or caring in these moments, so it should do the polar opposite. Similarly to how every character that befriended Mob, the sad villain who trapped a Mob in a nightmare, where he couldn't use his powers for 6 months, is made out to be someone sympathetic from Mob, who corrupted without his powers. Season 1 of One Punch Man is a good satire on dumb anime battles and archetypes. Its openings are action-packed and hype, and the climax it builds to is legitimately insane. The bland yet inspiring and cheerful Saitama is awesome. Mob is not. You don't try to protect people, you watch someone beat up all your friends, and let him destroy a school, and still think, oh, I shouldn't fight him, which is doing more harm than good, until you have another violent outburst and cause damage that should have killed a lot of people, and is randomly fixed because these powers make every action feel 0% impactful and can fix everything. Okay, so Mob is just as much of a bad guy here. Here we have a destroyed street, and here we have Mob using an entire city to deal 1 damage. Excellent, Mob. Remember this and how retarded it is. And then Mob doesn't win in a cool way. He just randomly cripples this guy with telekinesis. It is an undodgeable attack. This is like having the final boss be you fighting with a character that has 17 unique moves that require incredible control and focus, predicting all his moves and remaining calm till the very end, until you are hit by an unavoidable attack that one-shots you. Oh, the fight is still going on, never mind. I love how slamming into buildings with your guard down means nothing, so this isn't going to break your back, comprende? Why does his leg cripple after falling over on flat ground? Yes. I like that in JoJo's the heroes have to use their powers to defend themselves and get creative in how they survive and take out foes at a disadvantage. What makes Dio scary is the incredible power he has, and the severe weight behind every punch. This is shown through the introduction to his powers, and this killing blow. Because these characters are human, they can get caught off guard and die in a realistic fashion. Meanwhile, in shit Psycho, the end to the fight is so this guy just decides to stop teleporting. It's really lame even though Raijin is useless. He can harm the highest level enemy with a kick. But no matter how hard you work out, and all the emotions and strength gained from body improvement, leads to no powers. It's lame as fuck. And I don't care who you are, if you consistently run till you pass out, you will be a fucking machine. To be able to push yourself to that limit, thanks for showing no progression at all. I like the moment where, after much hesitation, Mob shows his powers to the girl who left him, and he forgives her, teaching her a lesson to not care what others think and to cherish the things you find dear.
Always be aware of your surroundings and people on exits, then move to the next shit.
Hey girl,
Love no one that
if you're
don't
looking
love
for a
you.
man that can treat you right and cuddle you and spoil you, you come to the wrong place. I'll beat the fuck out of you.
This sucks, Miss Blizzard.
I love the mentality of, oh, negative emotions are more beneficial to fighting, shown through all of Mob's anger outbursts, when in any case, thou who blindly rages is stressed will straight up underperform. It's crazy how the show can try to be deep at points, while having no restraint with using terrible cartoonish sound effects, and attempting to make Raijin's meaningless dialogues poetic. Just like the villains, it's all bad. All the characters are shit. This is such a delusional and impossibly convenient scenario. With extreme shifts in tone like this, how can you ever try to be serious? When Raijin tricks the enemies into luring him into the base to set free the imprisoned heroes, as well as command the resistance. Wow, you are so cool. Thanks for giving Mob terrible advice on holding back his emotions. Idiot! They are unique because they have the shitty powers this show mindlessly thought up. Just compete in sports and win millions. Die! Costume pairs well with the paint on his forehead, you dumb schmuck. Romley tosser. Fucking retard's Raijin, isn't it? It tries to emulate Saitama's all-powerful punch, but fails miserably, as it is endorsing all the cliches One Punch Man makes fun of. So it really is just anticlimactic and cliche, without showing the progression or humble beginnings of our hero. You just look like a fucking douchebag. The villains just never do anything with weight or power behind them. Then they lose and befriend Mob. Making friends with complete psychopaths and forgiving is the show's motto, but it doesn't make any of the scenarios believable. Likewise, all the heroes are just unrelatable and outright shit. It desperately tries to be deep, but comes off as so fake and poorly thought out. A generic anime show that embodies all the cliches and bad things from anime. What are you doing here? Now, Vanji, you come again and I kill you, okay?
Hello, Rajan. I am calling the police on you because you are such a terrible character.